Whoa! How's it going, people? Welcome to episode 1 of our new kind of season of podcasts.
Hello.
With my boy Chris here.
Hello, how are you? This is interesting to say the least.
How long has it been since our last podcast?
A year, maybe.
So it's been really long.
More so.
Mm-hmm.
Like a year and a month or two, probably, at this
Jesus,
point.
man. A month's too long. Anyways, as you can see, we're in a new room, a new fancy setup. And we have a lot to talk about today. But I'll let Chris introduce us with the first thing on the agenda.
Well, yeah, alright, so the 2017 film remake of the 1999 miniseries based off the Stephen King novel. We've both seen it recently, so Mason wanted to kind of do this in response to the movie.
We need to review it, yes. So why don't we start off with the official trailer, and we'll come back with our thoughts.
When you're a kid, you think the universe revolves around you. You think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true. Because when you're alone as a kid, the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer. Till it's too late. Here. Take it. My grandfather thinks this town is cursed. That all the bad things that happen in this town are because of one thing. An evil thing.
Bill, if you will come with me, you'll float too.
George. I saw something.
A clown. Yeah, I saw him too. You'll float too.
What happens when another Georgie goes missing? Or one of us?
Float too.
Are you just gonna pretend it isn't happening like everyone else in this town? If we stick together, we'll win.
Alright, well that trailer pumped me up. It made me remember the experience we had seeing that shit in the theater, at least my experience.
Yeah.
I think...
Well, before we continue any
God.
further, though,
Scary
fair
shit.
warning, spoiler alert.
Yeah, true. Should this be a full spoiler discussion?
I mean, if it comes up, it comes up.
Okay.
Type of thing. So, if you're looking for something without spoilers, then...
Well, let's get first impressions. I'll let you start.
See, that's the thing, is, like, I understand how this could be a horror movie for some people, right?
Right.
While I'm talking, look that up. What genre they put this
would
movie
be?
under. Because to me, like...
It's got to be horror. I mean, horror, drama, adventure. What would genre be? See, adventure, drama, horror. I nailed all three. How about that shit?
Yeah, you and a couple other people actually... I'm getting ahead of myself here. I apologize. Initial impressions were the movie looked great.
Oh yeah.
Cinematically speaking, it was a well-made movie. I think everyone in the roles that they played, whether it was a trope or not, very well played. You know?
Yeah. I didn't notice one bad actor, which is really surprising for how many kid actors they had.
Yeah.
Like, I was blown away.
It's kind of funny because I was talking about it at work with someone, and they were like, it's like Stranger Things. And
Yeah.
To get on a bit of a tangent here,
And it even has the one kid from
you know,
Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things kind of like ripped off in a good way.
Yeah.
All of these like iconic 80s
Stephen King movies.
stuff. Just like all the movies and tropes from that time, if you will.
Uh-huh.
That it appeals to that, and this is a remake of something from the 80s, right? So like it's that same kind of nostalgia feeling.
Yeah. Well, what do you think it reminded you of the most? What 80s movie?
It
Yeah.
honestly, it's been a while, but in ways it kind of reminds me of the 1990 miniseries.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, what movies, other than Stranger Things, do you think this really took inspiration of? Because I think the obvious one was obviously Stand By Me.
Yeah, that's what I
Everything
was
about
going to
it.
get into is there's a lot of people who said Stand By Me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see it until afterwards, but I thought about it, and if there was a narrative, then it would be even that much closer, you know?
Yeah. Even with the bully, it reminded me of that too.
That's what
that
I
was
was
just
saying.
so weird.
Like,
Yeah.
the creature was one of the, like, bullies. The it creature.
So we're looking at the cast of young characters right now. Let's go over them one by one. I think this kid was one of my favorites. I thought he was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I forget his name. But what'd you think of this kid?
Honestly, like, I don't think there was a single one of them that didn't, like, that didn't make me, like, hate them, you know?
Yeah.
Which is very hard for me.
Especially
like,
for child actors, they're not annoying, right?
Like, it wasn't, there was never, like, a cringy scene, you know?
Yeah. Well, what about this kid?
I just didn't like the character in general.
Yeah.
It's always been weird to me, actually. Like, there's this love triangle, you know?
That was really awkward,
And,
yeah.
like, I guess just from, like, a perspective of, like, I guess it's more based in reality where, like, he likes her and she's
Right.
like, okay, like, you're kind of cool and shit. But, like, Bill, the kid in the middle...
Yeah. He's already
like,
got tabs on that shit. And he knows it.
He's not even trying type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's what makes it so awkward when he kisses her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so... Yeah. This kid didn't get enough screen time at all. He felt like I forget his character the most.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because they removed a lot of subplots from the novel with this kid.
Yeah.
This guy didn't really do anything for me. I thought he was okay. Stranger Things kids, though. Well, Stranger Things kid. I'm guessing this was a big part of your negative thoughts on the movie, because this is the kid always making the jokes.
Surprisingly, I mean... you know, he didn't ruin it for me.
Okay.
At least not his character. I want to get more into that later.
Sure.
Just the idea of, like, comedic relief within horror movies and stuff. Just in general, but also applied to it. But
It had way more than I think I've seen any other horror movie have. That's not strictly like a comedy. Like, if we're getting into it now, I might as well say it took me out of the tension. Because I really wanted to be terrified by this shit.
Yeah.
And it came off as more imaginatively creepy than visceral, really shaking me up.
Yeah.
You know, even though on the drive home I felt like it's Pennywise in the back seat, but it wasn't like Paranormal Activity where it left me shook.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love these kids, it really unfortunately took me out of it. And so that made me kind of have to start enjoying the film on less a scary level, more like a Tim Burton kind of, you know, good scary points, but more fantasy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I think, honestly, that's the thing I've been thinking about, actually, is just the fact that, like, what is horror to every person, you know? In the sense that, like, okay, if you're afraid of clowns, but you like to be scared, you know, go watch it.
Yeah.
Because it just, that one scene in the trailer where it's the room full of clowns. Ugh.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Like, I could see someone being deathly afraid of that.
Especially if they had a phobia, yeah, of course.
So, to me, like, clowns don't really scare me.
Yeah.
I was talking about this last night. What made this movie so great is the fact that, like, or this story so great is it plays on your fear, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, there's, at certain times, like, you can't control that. You know what I mean? That, like, you know, to me personally, like, uncanny shit, or just, like, that feeling of, like, something's not right, or, like, just that psychological, whatever it is, you know, that scares me.
That's very true,
like, that tension almost.
And was there any scene in this that really, like, kind of captured that for you, or?
Not really. I have to watch it again. There was, like, a jump scare or two that, like, kind of got me. But to go on to another point of, like, horror movies is, like, the jump scare, you know?
Yeah.
It's cheap, but if it's a genuine jump scare, then, like, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's something we're, like, hardwired with, you know? Like, you're supposed to, if something comes up behind you, you know, and that's what a jump scare evokes out of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, in my opinion, the movie really suffered from, like, a lot of the good, effective, scary scenes were shown on the trailer.
Yeah. That was one thing I didn't even think about until I saw the movie, because I was kind of like, fuck, I would have been scared of this.
It's been a common trend recently,
which
actually,
sucks, yeah. Because you remember the projector scene where, you know, he's dressed in the projector on the wall, and then out of nowhere he's 3D right in front of it. I saw that in a clip, and I was like, okay, that looks incredible, but that would have been so scary if I hadn't seen that shit before.
You know what, dude? And it's as simple as they should have just cut that scene like 20 seconds earlier.
True, yeah.
You know, cut it when the kid kicks it down or some shit.
Yeah, that, because even the scene after felt just really weird. It was like there wasn't a consistency. Because, like, some of it was just, like, too cartoony.
You know what, actually? Because you mentioned it, put on Stand By Me trailer. Because that's an older movie, so I want to see, like,
the similarities
trailer compared to... Furthermore,
in all our lives, there's a fall from innocence, a time after which we are never the same. It happened in the summer of 1959, a long time ago.
Oh man, where do you hear this? Where do you hear this?
Fat kid.
What is it, man? You guys want to go see a dead body?
When the night has come
and the land is dark.
We interrupt to bring you an update on the search for the missing 12-year-old Ray Brower.
Kid's gone. They're never gonna
Missing
find him.
kids.
Not where they're looking.
And the moon
Bullies.
1986 is smoking
light we'll see.
the shit.
You think Mighty Mouse could beat up Superman?
Mighty Mouse is a cartoon. Superman is a real guy. No way a cartoon could beat up a real guy.
What's that actor's name?
Who?
The kid with the glasses.
We're gonna be famous. We're gonna be on every radio and TV
So
show in the
bad.
country.
I still don't think we should go.
Corey Feldman?
Yeah, something like that.
I can only have one food for the rest of my life. That's easy. Pez. Cherry flavored Pez. No question about it.
I could go someplace where nobody knows me. We found him. We got dibs.
We better start running, Eyeball. They got dibs.
There's 4 of us, Eyeball. You just make your move.
You're dead.
God,
For
yeah,
some,
so young.
it's the last real taste of
Young
innocence.
Snake.
I'm never gonna get out of this town, am I, Gory? You can do anything you want, man.
And the first real taste of life.
This is really a good time. It must.
A blast.
But for everyone, it's the time that memories are made of.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
So basically what I'm getting out of this is it feels a lot like this added with the whole clown story.
Yeah, I mean,
The same dynamic with the characters.
at the same time, like, even if you go on his Wikipedia page or any piece of work that's like distinctively King, it says like he has like a common set of themes.
Right.
You know, like sacrifice and like coming of age and all that shit.
And even the town where it takes place.
Yeah,
Maine?
well, he is to Maine what Tarantino is to LA, you know?
Mm.
A lot of his films that are like period pieces per se take place in LA, right?
So I want to ask you, I think, the penultimate question. When we're talking about comparing this to the 90s one.
Right.
What was scarier? This shit, which I was maybe 11 when I first saw this face,
Yeah.
and it fucked me up.
Yeah, I was about 10 or 11.
Yeah. I was like, how does someone even design something this fucking off-putting? Because the big thing I noticed about 2017 is he's very Looney Tunes. Remember when Georgie falls down and like it becomes Pennywise, so the limbs like extend? And it's like, boom. Like that was cool, but like that felt like a clown. This one barely did. He felt felt like a fucking thing just in a clown's outfit.
Yeah.
You know? But look at his face versus, you know, that doesn't do.
Honestly,
Yeah.
okay, here's my thing. Go back to the first one. If I saw this on the streets,
Yeah.
I would think it was either a cosplayer of some sort or just like a crazy person.
This guy?
Yeah.
But what would you be more scared of in an alley? This face or that?
That
This?
looks more menacing.
Really?
Because he looks like he's gonna fuck your shit up. And he's in the most ridiculous outfit you've ever seen. Go back. He looks like he's like a strung out junkie. Which is like
I guess
easily
it's, yeah.
avoidable. But as far as like a scary movie creature goes, I don't know. I think the original just I think it's also not nostalgia, but like because I was younger and a bit more like
Impressionable.
yeah, it scared me. Like you've seen it.
Yeah.
When I watch horror movies and shit, or like go to haunted houses even, like the like ugh, when you get jump scared, that'll get me, but I laugh after, you know.
Yeah. I don't know though. I gotta say though, this shit looks like Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland. I mean, I like the movie.
I know it's actual makeup.
Yeah.
But it just looks so CG for some reason.
This?
Yeah.
Because the head and shit. And like, yeah,
And
the
then
shading.
go back. It's just like...
The other one, man, it just does it for me. Because it reminds me of like really fucking creepy 90s
I gotta
art.
agree with you now. Like, such a weird change
Yeah.
in like heart, but like, man. Oh.
It reminds me of like creepy art from my childhood I would see in a doctor's office.
If that makeup was going to the other picture, imagine a guy in that makeup.
It would look way better.
Making a face like that at you.
That looks nowhere near as unnerving.
But like just the facial like of the 2017 it.
It looks cartoony though. I mean,
there were cartoony scenes. I'll give you that.
Even just the face itself, though. I think this being more low budget really added to it.
Well, it was a TV miniseries.
Exactly, and I think it really worked. Like even the hair, the fucking hair versus this weird shit. This is like Jimmy Neutron versus this is like fucked up. I got like this shit is nightmare material. This is like the other one is like I don't know. I mean. It was creepy, but this looks way too Hollywoodized.
I don't know, man. It's just like, who's to say that if they didn't have the time or money or whatever back then, that it wouldn't look the same almost, you know?
I don't know, yeah, maybe.
I just by that picture alone.
This one?
Both of them.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, yeah, that's freaky, but it's like, that wouldn't necessarily be real almost, it feels. Now go to this one. Yeah, it looks like whatever, but just that menacing look of them.
I guess,
you
but...
know, that just seems like something that's more likely for some reason.
Maybe this just scares you more. Because I don't know.
It doesn't scare me. I just feel like
if you saw this
in an alleyway and he was walking towards me looking like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, well, let's kind of wrap up our thoughts on it. I mean, I'll give like a quick few thoughts and then a rating, and then maybe you'll do the same. I think it felt very classic Stephen King in the best way possible. I was talking to you about that, like the font, the music, the camera work even. It felt very old school.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe they took that too far in some aspects with like music montages. I wasn't a big fan of.
Yeah.
I think the humor with the kids should have been toned down to really fuck me up with the horror for like a prolonged 5 minutes is all I asked for, without him saying, oh, his mom's vagina or some shit like that. I mean, I never found myself having a prolonged state of fear without that kid putting in jokes. And again, I like the actors, I like the jokes, but it didn't do it for me enough as a horror film. But other than that, the direction is great, the acting really kind of blew me away with the kids. I thought those kids were incredible. But like, I'll give my rating and then I'll let you just fire off. But I would say just based on the fact that it didn't frighten me as much as this shit did, I would give it like a really solid 7.5.
Yeah.
You know, I can't give it more than that. But that's my thoughts. Even though I think it's a really fucking great 7.5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got some notes here. Hold on.
Do it.
So to go back to like the comedic relief, Stranger Things kid.
Yeah.
I've seen Stranger Things. Like I watched it, but I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it.
But didn't you say that you're like, what the fuck is this, a comedy? Like, explain your thoughts behind that.
Okay, yeah. And this is what I wanted to get into about comedic relief.
Yeah.
That kid who was swearing all the time, in my opinion, he wasn't bad because it's just like, think about when you were 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were swearing, you were
Yeah, of
saying
course.
vulgar shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it was just weird that, like, every time this kid swore, like, people would laugh. You know?
Okay. So the audience laughing kind of took you out of it a bit, too.
Yeah, that's actually, like, just, like, the immersion of a theater, you know? Like, seeing it with a group of people who are reacting the same way.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, like, I went in personally expecting a sheer horror film.
You're right, yeah.
Almost like a scary slasher flick. And it's like, even if they were, like, the cheap jump scares where, like, let's just say the main character and his girlfriend are in a car, and then the friend comes up in the window, like, pops up, like, hey, what's up, man, and scares him. Like,
Yeah.
that's almost what I was expecting with this.
Yeah.
And I think even though it let me down a bit that it wasn't that, it was still good.
Yeah. It was a great film, it just didn't have...
The only problem with the comedic relief, because there were problems where they would put a joke or something to break the tension at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who am I to judge that kind of decision? But
You're the viewer.
personally, like, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put jokes in certain parts.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my take on it, though.
Because, like, say the audience kind of took you out of it, like if a joke doesn't make me laugh, but a few other people are laughing, maybe that'll annoy me a tad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to be in sync with the audience. Compare our experience of watching this with all the constant jokes, making people laugh all the way through, versus Paranormal Activity. Like, you know, which one it might be, where it's, the audience is, they're not fucking laughing. They're reacting to the scary moments. It's like a roller coaster. There isn't that break in tension. It's like, wow, I'm in the theater, you know, locking myself into this shit. With it was like, okay, I'm scared, but I know something, you know, relaxing is going to come in 2 minutes. It's just, it never got me enough to what I wanted. And I don't know. But anyways, what would you rate it?
In comparison to the 1990 film, I would give it the same rating as you, 7.5.
Okay. What are your reasonings for that?
Because it was still a good adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to reread the book.
Me too.
But, like, I don't know. I feel like I have a bias towards the original. So that's almost basically why it gets 7.5. To be honest with you.
That's probably the same with me, nostalgia.
But on its own, I would give it a full 8.
Okay. Like as if you hadn't seen the original.
Just not in comparison.
Not in comparison, I would probably be the same with you.
Just because it's not a bad film.
No, not at all.
If you're afraid
Not
of
at all.
clowns or like the idea of your fears being played upon.
Yeah.
Without actually having your own fears played upon.
Mm-hmm.
If that scares you, this movie will do it for you.
Yeah. It's wide reaching. It's almost less about the clown and more just about everyone's own personal shit. Yeah. Which was a really angle which I kind of forget is going to be there. You know?
So, I mean, I'm hoping, not to say this movie wasn't gritty, I'm hoping that part 2 is darker.
I'm really going to be hyped for part 2.
More of a, not necessarily gorier, but just like fucked up tone in
Hell
general.
Yeah. And less comedy, more tension, you know. It's got to be like, I can't, because the 90s one had the one guy being a Joker, which was so dumb. Like, I want a really good straight up fucking horror film with the adults. I think we're in for a good ride with that.
With the comedic relief, like, I found, if anything, just from my personal like tastes of like films and all that shit,
Yeah.
the Stranger Things kid made me laugh the least.
Mm.
Like, I could tell there were moments where, like, I don't want to sound snooty, not common folk, but just people who, like, I don't even know how to explain that. Like, I sound like a dick. Edit this out. But, just, like, lowbrow almost, you know?
Lowbrow humor?
Yeah. Like, the scene where, like, they're all about to jump into the
Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the girl jumps before them and one gets a, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, people laughed at that and it's just like, to me, that's not funny, you know?
Yeah. It's, my feelings on the comedy are so all over the place because I was in a pretty decent mood. So I probably laughed at more than I normally would.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think it was just too cartoony, but I really think maybe they'll pick it up in the adult half. But I think we're
hopefully.
Yeah. So I think we're good to wrap up it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check that camera, see if it's still recording. Still rec?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Let's move on to, we'll briefly cover this just because I want to get you out of here so you can get some sleep soon.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. Let's look at the trailer for The Disaster Artist. This is, of course, a kind of dramatic adaptation of The Making of the Room. Let's watch.
Well, while it's loading, I guess, or it's already loaded, I see. It's a book written by the creator's friend.
Oh, God.
Greg Sestero or whatever.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
And he wrote a book about his experience on set, and this is like a movie adaptation of the book.
Is Greg the, like,
Mark.
other... He's the other love
Mark.
triangle guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, let's watch the trailer for The Disaster Artist.
Can it see me when I'm
Los
saying
Angeles, everybody want to be star.
Yeah,
You have to be the best and never give up.
When I get up on stage in front of people, all I can think about is, what if they laugh at me? You, man, you're fearless. I want to feel that too.
I don't care. I'll do it.
You know, man, we both have this dream. Yeah, I guess we do.
And we'll be famous. We'll show them. Watch out, here we come. To be or not to be.
It's not gonna happen for you. Not in a million years.
What, after that? This town, Greg. They don't want me.
Wish we could just make our own movie.
A great idea. So there's this guy, Johnny, a true American hero, to be played by me. He has it all. Good luck, many friends, and also maybe Johnny is vampire. We'll see.
This set of the alleyway looks exactly like the real alleyway.
That's right,
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
because it's a real Hollywood movie.
No? Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, action. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
What the f- doesn't work if you're looking at the camera?
And then this beautiful girl, anything for my princess. She betrayed him. And then this guy, Johnny. He go crazy. Nobody respect my vision. You are a villain. I do this whole movie for you, Greg. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
That shot looked exactly like it.
Not.
Why you cut, Sandy? This is great. This is real acting.
If you're gonna writhe around with the dress, maybe do it before you shoot yourself in the head and blow your brains out.
I disagree. We are going to
I
together.
love how Seth Rogen's just dissing a couple of
Tommy,
I haven't
this is not
seen this
necessary.
trailer.
Very necessary. I need to show my ass to sell this movie.
I think you're aiming a little bit.
I aim where I aim. Just do the scene.
Why is he having sex with her belly button? He knows where her vagina is, right?
I love it, man.
Hi, doggy.
I love it. They have captured the spirit of that shit really well.
Put on the actual Room trailer.
The actual Room trailer.
Mm-hmm. Just to, like, get a taste of that.
That fucking mess.
Hi, babe. I have something for you.
What is it?
It's just a little something.
Okay, this ain't fucking legit.
I used to know a girl. She...
God, imagine this being at a film festival.
I love you, Lisa.
I love you, Johnny.
This could almost be legit. This is actually like what the movie
Johnny's
is like.
okay. I found somebody else.
Ugh.
I like how Mark just sleeps and like love shack.
Yeah.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
There's no way this is what the trailer was for this movie.
God, forgive me.
There's no way that's the...
It's so epic, like, given its status now. I think that's the best we're gonna get for a fucking trailer, man.
And he's got a new movie on the way too.
Yes, he does. But, man, the new Room coming out, I mean...
The Disaster Artist.
The Disaster Artist. And all I can say is it looks fucking hilarious.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so good, man. I think it's gonna be one of the best comedies in years, like, honestly.
Hopefully. That's the dream.
Okay. Now, this is something I've been absolutely dying to show you, okay? Now, alright. You remember when, like, Tyler, the Creator, all that Odd Future crap came out? And that caused, like, a fucking boom, like a revolution. Like, at least, not revolution, but, like, a new movement. Once in a while, like, a new artist comes around who's just so different that it fucking catches everyone by surprise.
Just play it, dude.
I gotta tell you, though, this is before that. This is the next big thing, and I don't even think you're ready for this shit. But I want you to pay attention to this guy's mastery of word, okay?
Mm-hmm.
His mastery of rhythm and swag. Let's watch Lands de Rays.
How is this like Tyler the Creator though?
Bigger than that, man. Listen to that like flow. That shit, man. No one else does this. No one else.
Out of breath.
Look at him. Yeah. Like, what is this comparable to? This is the best show right here. It's coming up. Look at his face here. Hey. I love it, dude. This guy don't give a fuck. Man. Quickly before we give our thoughts, this opening, listen to him come in with that flow. Man. What the fuck do you think of Lands, boy? Because this is the craziest dude I've seen in the game for years, man. Like, serious.
It's not bad. It's just
Yeah?
not what I like.
What do you think of his flow?
I guess it's funny he was purposely doing the, like, out of breath.
That's his, like, style. I'm not even joking. All right, well, let's end this podcast with some funny videos here. My boy Chris.
Shout it to y'all again. You ever play with me again? You ass motherfucker. You going to jail. I don't give a fuck. Call the laws on her. Your ass going to jail now. You'll get right when them laws come. Bet your ass. You can't get out. You can't get out. Bye-bye. Jail time. Bye-bye. You want me to tell them that you at? No! Fuck this bitch! No! Put your hands on me now! Put your motherfucking hands on me now! Girl, you tell me with that time. Put your motherfucking hands on me now!
Like, why was this worth it? Doing this shit. Because what did we start off with here?
Like, she gets her flip-flops, comes back in, and just starts
Let
walking.
us see y'all again!
Don't you ever. That girl in the back was slow to look over. And then the guy behind the fucking computer presses a button and locks the door. You ain't fucking this shit. Finish it?
Your ass going to jail now. Put your hands on me now. Put your motherfucking hands on me now. Girl, you tell me with that time. Put your motherfucking hands on me now. What the fuck y'all think this is?
God damn.
Nazi. What else you gonna do for it? Besides stay at war, what else you gonna do? So to see y'all again. That's what the fuck I mean. What else y'all gonna come up with? What y'all doing for the devil? Leave the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone.
Like, this ain't a good idea.
Oh my god. Trippy.
She gonna go for the door again?
It's too late for that. Yeah, look at the guy behind the counter.
What called them loud on that? She tripping.
Oh.
Get your goddamn soul off of me! Get your damn soul off of me! Get your motherfucking soul off of me! Get your motherfucking soul off of me, bitch! It been tearing up the stove, man. Fucking play with you, and that's the end of it.
Look at the fucking mess she
I
made.
I don't give a fuck that this guy is recording.
Oh no, this is normal.
Oh, get you ready to go to jail? Huh?
You going
You want
to
my socks?
jail?
Cause you gonna be cold in a motherfucker. Hey, do you want my shirt? Look, she just knocked over the thing, man. You gonna be cold. She tripping.
Fuck, man. What are those, arcade machines?
Who knows, man? Look at her fucking trying to bash that shit. Like, the longer you keep them locked up, the more they're gonna get agitated.
I don't like the way you say them, bro.
I know, I thought about that right after I said it. I meant like anyone, like people who do this shit in a variety store, because I've seen like 50 videos like this where they lock the person inside and they just keep tearing shit up.
I feel like you just realize at this point, like, if they're locking you in, you're already gonna go to jail probably anyways. So.
Oh yeah. God, there's a one where a fucking guy gets like a Colt 40 smashed on his head. Crackhead tears up store.
It's the Late O'Clock podcast. Finding a suitable world.
People destroying stores compilation.
Bye-bye.
Look at this shit. The man in the store don't even know what to do. What, YouTube? Boy, you hear me? Boy, I'm on YouTube for real. This shit need his ass beat. I'm talking about... Hey, you need to get a body with that shit, man. I'm telling you, like, this shit going hell, like... Hey! You took my shit, bro. Why you got him? Hey, my shit, bro. No, you ain't done, man. I'm done. You ain't done. Whoa. Why you doing my shit? Get off! Give me! I call police! You don't fucked up, buddy. You don't fucked up, buddy. What? I didn't take your shit. You stole my money! Come on, man. You stole my money! Why are you supposed to do on me? Come
See,
on,
they do
man.
that. It's a trend.
You stole my money! Sir!
So once you knock over my glasses, you're fucking locked.
Oh shit!
You see that? The first one did not break.
My money, sir. Don't call the police. Oh shit! What if I stab you and kill you right now, nigga? I told you to stop playing with me, nigga. What if I do it again? You wanna see? You wanna see with another one?
Holy crap.
You wanna see with another one?
Look at
Yo,
him. A Colt 40 to the head, unbroken. That ain't no. That ain't.
open
no
the
joke.
door. Let me out. Let him out, let him out, let him out.
Won't even let him out after he got a concussion.
Let him out. And I'm gonna run up on him and bring you shit.
Jesus.
I got you. I got you. I told you don't play with me, dog. Look at you now. I feel like Grady, bro. I didn't say this shit. Bro.
Listen to his voice.
You want me to hit you again?
No.
Huh?
No.
No. Now it's not, right? Now it's not, huh? Now because you bleed
Either
like
he
a
was
bitch.
drunk
Now it's not,
before,
right?
or he literally got a fuck ton of brain cells lost, man.
Because you attacked me. Who attacked who? Who attacked who? Huh? You want me to do it again, nigga? In your face? Huh? You want me to, nigga?
No.
Oh, now it's not, right? But you, when you was on top of it was like nothing like that, right? I'll break the shit in your face right now, nigga. Oh, Black, what's up? What's up with you, nigga?
Alright, well, I think
No, I want to see this.
playing.
Don't play with me, dog. I told you don't ever play with me. No. And I'm gonna wait for the cops. I'm gonna wait for them. Don't try me. Nigga, don't try me. For sure. I'll break your fucking face, nigga. Look at you. I didn't fucking try you, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga. Now what? I'm sorry. Now you sorry. Now I'm gonna break your face with this one. What you gonna do? It's just me and you. Ain't nobody here. Okay. Then what? I ain't trying.
Look.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pay for anything he wants. I'm gonna leave.
No.
Yo.
No.
Yo.
You want to go to the back and you fight straight or like the handstand? Because you've been dying and they're gonna fight you. I'll fight you. Straight up, nigga.
Bro.
I'll fight you straight up, nigga.
Fucking.
Don't touch me. I'm fucking wet, dog. Don't touch me, dog.
Nobody come, bro.
Ain't nothing to me.
I'm trying to get in trouble.
Well, you should have thought about that, bro.
Bro,
don't touch me, bro. Hey, you feel like I tried you? What's up? You know I'll handle my thing. You want to keep bugging? I feel like you don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me. I already told you. Don't hop me with another one. You want to see?
No.
You want us to pay me? Don't touch me, bro. You know how I work, dog. I'm going to pop you with another one, dog.
Bro, can you open the door, please?
I'm going to pop you. And I'm going to go outside and still pop you. Yo, open the door. Open the door for this nigga.
Bro, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything,
Bro, everybody can tell me you should try me.
Bro, don't touch me, bro. I told you don't touch me, dog. Open the door for this guy.
Come on, man. What do you want us to do? Put it back to us?
Bro, you want to hold it? You hold it.
Can we fix it?
I'm gonna grab a beer and drink. Hey, what up? Worldstar!
Go. Sir, my girlfriend told me we can't get in trouble for no reason. Open up. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, I'm not waiting with it. I'll pop you again, nigga. I tell you don't play with me, nigga. You know me. You know where I come from.
This is good stuff, bro.
I'm a kid, I know. And you gonna cover me.
When I got up, what? Bro, I'm sorry. What the fuck, bro? I should pop you again. Hey, bro, should I pop him again?
I don't know, bro. Don't get me in this, bro. Don't get me in that, bro. Don't put me in that, bro.
You should leave. Now we should leave. Please. Now we should leave. You hear? Now we should leave. But we're gonna talk on here, I'm like, bro, you want this? Like, you want this? Now we should leave. Like, come on, bro. Sir, like I told you, bro. Like, then you trying, what the fuck did I try you with? Bro, I really was tough, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Oh, sorry. How much money do you want? How much money do you want? Hey, cheers to all my Worldstar fans, cheers.
Drinking a beer.
You gotta turn niggas up. Bro, let's get the fuck out of here before trouble.
I like how you just realize, like, they're locked in there, so he just grabs a beer and drinks it.
Because he knows the cops are coming. It's like, fuck it, man.
Pay for it later, I guess.
Alright, well, I think this has been a very good episode of the first podcast.
Hopefully. We'll see how the editing turns out.
Hell yeah. I want to thank my boy Chris for coming down for podcast 2017 episode 1. Where can we find you at?
Nowhere currently, but
nowhere on
working
YouTube?
on it. Nowhere on YouTube right now.
Okay, well, shout out to that music video you just did and where we can find that.
Party in a Pyramid by Menez the Pharaoh. It's going to be right here.
Okay. Link on the screen and description.
Yeah. Check it out. It's good. And it's a dope track, so enjoy.
Okay. Well, that is it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more.
Peace.